You are listening to Eat Meat Sparingly, a Word of Wisdom podcast. I am your host, Ali Essig.
I just taught a workshop called Hormones, Protein, Stress, oh my, what the wellness industry is not telling you about feeling like you again. And this workshop is so powerful. It's so helpful. I teach you the basics of how to really feel like yourself again and how to do what 95% of Americans aren't doing. And when you do these things, you will feel so much better. And so I wanted to share this workshop on the podcast. I also invite those listening to my collective membership. And we have a cohort starting in January, the first week of January. So you will be able to listen about what that entails, what we offer in the membership, and how you can join this cohort starting next week. So make sure to check that out as well. You can always go to www.plantwhys.com/40 to join, and join right now so you can join the live cohort. It makes all the difference to go through this together with someone. Let's start this new year off right. All right, here's the workshop.
All right, hormones, protein, and stress. What the industry isn't telling you about feeling like you again. Before I go into a ton of detail, I want to first tell you guys a story. One of my dearest friends, her name is Laura. She is in her 40s, right? She's starting to just not feel like herself anymore. She is tired all the time. She's exhausted, and for good reason. She has her own children plus stepchildren. She's the breadwinner in her family, and they're renovating their house. And it's been going on for 2 years. So there's no question. It's like, yes, it makes sense that you're exhausted. And she has gained recently about 20 to 30, maybe 40 pounds. She just had her blood work done, and she had me look over her blood work because we've been friends forever. We were hanging out. She's like, I brought my blood work for you to look at it. And it was interesting because she had a professional go through it and tell her to do this and buy this supplement. And so she had spent, I want to say $300 to $500 just on supplements and things that to help her feel like her again. And I was just in awe because she was like, she's been trying it. She hasn't really felt much difference since then. And some of the things it's almost like we're overcomplicating it. We are overcomplicating feeling like yourself again. And so the point of this workshop is to give you basically the information that I gave my friend Laura, and that you have the power within your own hands, that you don't have to overcomplicate weight loss or just feeling good, to have the energy that you need. And it's really more simple and easier than you think. I promise. I promise. And I did give her a specific plan, which I will tell you at the very end. And so because it kind of all falls in line with the last little piece in this workshop. And so I'm really excited for you to have just this information without having to pay someone thousands of dollars, honestly, to know the simple things that you need to do to feel good. Just for showing up today as well, I want to make sure that you get a gift. In fact, I'm going to stop my share and put the link in the chat just in case, but go ahead and screenshot this. This is the fridge and pantry essentials guide. It's a beautiful guide that basically, if you were to go grocery shopping and to buy everything that's in the guide at any point, you can buy or you can make any plant-based meal. It's actually what I have right here. We're in our lake house and I have all of these essentials, especially the ones that aren't in the fridge. And I know if I show up, I have like 5 meals that I can make at any time, and they're plant-based, right? They're full of plants and nutrition, even though they're shelf stable. So it's really nice to have all of this on hand, and make sure that you screenshot that. And so I'm just going to stop my share really, really quick to get the link for it, because I know someone's going to ask, I can't get, oh, there you go. Oh, Ashley, you're the best. Ashley put it in the chat. You're the best, Ashley. Thank you so much. Good. So let's reshare. And so from there, I lost it. Hold on. You don't need to see that. Let me go back to it just a second. There we go. Okay. So hormones, protein, stress, let's get into it. Now, at the very end, I'm also going to give you another gift. When it comes to having an actual meal plan, I want to give you the first month free to the PlantWhys monthly meal plan. And so I'll have that link for you at the very end too. So you have multiple gifts just for being here, just for showing up. And I also would love to see your faces. It's so nice to know that I'm talking to you. And so if you can, I would love to have your camera on. I also understand if you're in a spot where you can't, because that's my life. And if you have questions, I am going to try my hardest to answer them at the very end. I know a lot of people may ask specific to you questions while we're going through the presentation, and I just don't want to stop it if it's very specific to you or your circumstance or situation. I'll explain all that at the very end. But if it's a quick yes or no answer, I'm happy to answer it along the way. Now, I want to ask you a quiz. So you can write the answer in the chat and let me know. So don't overthink it. Just drop a true or false in the chat. Question number 1, true or false? If I can't do it perfectly, I might as well not try at all. Who is a all or nothing person? True or false? I want to know who it is that I'm talking to. Are you guys all or nothing people? False, true, so me. True, false. Yeah, it's fascinating, right? Some people are just, it's how we feel. It's this all or nothing. If I can't do it perfectly, I might as well not even try. Okay, question number 2. Balancing hormones has to mean expensive supplements, strict diets, or hormone therapy. Yeah, so it's expensive supplements, strict diets, or hormone therapy. How many of you have like seen on Instagram where someone was like, I was like this is my before picture until I balanced my hormones and now I look like this. And then they sell you on either a supplement, a strict diet, or hormone therapy. Yes? Anyone else seen that? I feel like that's all the rage right now. That's anything everyone's talking about. Yes. Okay, question number 3, true or false? Protein is so confusing. I'll probably get it wrong anyway. Protein is so confusing. I'll probably get it wrong anyway. True or false? I just given a hot potato. True or false? False, true. I know. It's so confusing sometimes, right? Okay, true or false? Feeling tired all the time is just normal once you hit midlife. Feeling tired all the time is just normal once you hit midlife. True or false? Go ahead and write it in the chat. No way. Yes. This way, but it has to be true. False. Yeah. Okay. And last question. If you haven't figured out by now, if I haven't figured it out by now, there must be something wrong with me. How many of you feeling that way? True or false? If I haven't figured out by now, there must be something wrong with me. We're saying there's something wrong with me. Like it's something internal to me, to who I am. True or false? Yeah. Okay, keep writing those in the chat. My kids open the door, close it. My kids have this game, this hot potato thing that shocks you, and they just threw it in. They're like, let's shock mom. It'll be so funny. Okay. Now, at the end of this workshop, I am going to give you a choice. Now, of course, I want to deliver as much value as possible, but I also want you to understand the point of a lot of these workshops is to invite you into our program. And 3 times a year, I offer the best deal ever when it comes to joining our membership, just 3 times a year. And so we are opening it up for our best discount, like the best offer that we have. And that is starting obviously this month. And so I'll explain more of that later. But for now, just enjoy the workshop. Until you see this slide again, you don't have to stress about me trying to sell you on anything. I really do want to just give you value. But at the end, I am going to invite you into our program. Okay, the next question is why? Why do you want to feel like you again? If you have a strong enough why, you can get through anyhow. When it comes to my friend Laura, she was just like, I'm tired of being tired. So tell me, why do you want to feel like you again? Why is it? What will it do for you if you could fix this? To feel better, to have more energy, to lose the 20, 30 pounds that you feel like you've gained, you don't even understand how. My friend Laura was saying that she was like, I haven't even changed my diet and I've gained weight. She's obviously gone through a lot, but what's going on? So if you could fix that, what would it do for you? So you're tired of being overweight, energy, enjoy getting dressed. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, going shopping, have better quality of life, be better, more patient. I'm not done yet. I want to run races with my kids and play hard, show them how fun life can be. I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Yes. Same as Laura, but feeling strong. Yes. So important to feel strong. I'm 70 and I've been tired for, more energy. Yes. To feel better generally. Yep. And say less tired. My hormones are all out of whack and I'm 72. Weight gain in addition, I would love more energy and to stop having hot flashes. Tired of being sick and tired. I have been whole food plant-based forever, but there are always challenges. You need new knowledge. Yes. In menopause, want to live the last third. Yes. And I think a lot of this is also, you don't want to sit on the sidelines. As you've said that, you want to be able to fulfill your purpose. You want to be the playful mom. You want to be the playful grandma. You want to be able to not sit on the sidelines of your life. I went on a hike recently with friends and it got a little bit challenging, right? And it wasn't too bad, a little bit challenging piece. And I had a sweet dear friend that's just like, you guys go. It's too much for me. I'm going to stay. And she knew, she was like, I feel bad that I can't join everyone, but that's where her health was. She truly had to sit on the sidelines. And sometimes the pain of change really becomes less than the pain of staying the same. And I hope you recognize that we just get used to feeling tired all the time. We get used to sitting on the sidelines. We get used to being sick and tired. And the pain of change, if there's anything that I can convince you of, is this: the pain of change is not that painful. It's not that hard. It actually can be so much easier, so much more enjoyable than you think. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. And it doesn't have to be crazy expensive supplements or strict diets or feeling like you are really depriving yourself. As I was talking to my friend Laura, she was like, I just don't want to feel like I'm depriving myself. I do not have the energy to do that. I already don't have energy, but then to have to be so strict and feel deprived, I can't even do that. There's no way, right? It doesn't happen in her. And plus, we all have goals. We all have dreams. We all have accomplishments. We want to be able to travel and to be able to step like 23,000 steps while we're traveling France, or to be able to go on a service mission, or to be able to dance at your children's weddings, to be the fun dancing grandma, grandparent, mom, all of these things, right? We have goals. We have goals, and we want to really live life to the fullest instead of just sitting to the left or to the back. Okay, now I do want to understand one other thing about who's here. There's going to be two types of people. Number one, left brain. Number two, right brain people. Number one, left brain people, they tend to want to eat more plants because they've had a diagnosis. Maybe it's high cholesterol. Maybe you've had cancer in the past. So if you are a left brain person, please write left in the chat that you had a specific health issue, either to you, maybe your father or mother passed away from cancer or heart disease. Maybe you have diabetes. Like, it is very science-based. After all the science that you've read, you maybe read the book How Not to Die, like I did, and it's like, yep, this is the reason. My husband had a stroke, right? I was just purely left brain. Let's do this. But now I want to ask you, who in the room is the right brain? Like, they just literally feel called to eat in a healthier way. They feel called, you feel possibly lost, you're not sure, but you feel called to improve your health because there's more that you need to be doing in your life that you're not doing right now. Maybe you feel called because you love animals and you don't eat animals anymore. Maybe you feel called because you love our earth and the environment. Maybe you feel called to eat less animal products because it feels right spiritually for you. And then how many of you are both? How many is it's like a combination of both? Like, I'm just left, or I'm just right, or really I'm both. I truly personally am both. I am both. I started with the left and then I'm like, whoa, there's so much spirituality to this. There's a lot of spiritual reasons of why we would want to eat more plant-based. And I think it's important to remind yourself of that because this world is teaching us and giving us so many other messages, but there are reasons we know, right? We've read Dr. Greger's books. We've read all the doctor's books. We understand the logic and the science, and we may feel called to live this. And I really think it's a higher way of living, and it puts you at a higher vibration. You truly do, is you're not eating so much death, right? Like, you're eating life and light, and it's a beautiful thing. So if you don't already know me, my name is Allie, and I have 6 beautiful children who are all here in this house right now running around, and they'll probably come interrupt. And that's the beautiful part about life, right? That's how it is. And I live in the DC area. I started going plant-based after my husband had a stroke in 2019, and I fell in love with it. It like woke up something inside of me. I felt like I wanted to stand on a soapbox and tell everyone, the whole world, we eat plants. I feel like I found this secret. And this is what this workshop is about, me teaching that secret, me sitting and standing on that soapbox to just preach to you about the benefits, because we saw it personally in our life, but I've also seen it in hundreds of my clients' lives as well. And I love to tell everyone as much as I can. I have a podcast called Eat Me Sparingly. I have a YouTube channel, many of you are here from the YouTube channel, called PlantWhys. I have gone to so many different medical conferences. I actually host booths at medical conferences. I've met all of the doctors and been on Shift AJ show, the exam room podcast, like all the things, right? All these things that I thought were really important. But what I understood, you could be best friends with all the doctors. You could have all these connections, but what's most important is you. Because when you go through something difficult, honestly, and you don't know where to turn to, and you're struggling and you're second guessing yourself, like I want to find you. I want to work with you. How many of you ever have felt that you just feel lost? Maybe you had that diagnosis. Maybe you went through something difficult and you just felt lost. There's so much conflicting advice. After my husband's stroke, I was like, what do I do? The dietitian gave me that piece of paper that said you need to eat more fiber and to avoid saturated fat, cholesterol. And I'm like, what does that mean? What is trans fat? I have no idea. And so have you ever felt like there's just answers everywhere and I'm not sure which path to go? And maybe you've even tried eating plant-based and it just didn't work that great. You've talked to lots of medical professionals and there were no answer. Maybe you have been in the waiting game, like you're trying and you're waiting and you're not healing. And sometimes that that can be expensive, especially if you're like my friend Laura, buying all these supplements and just trying it out, but not healing. Or these wellness experts, one thing will say another, everything is contradictory, right? And everything is biased. Or maybe you are even 100% plant-based, like I saw some of you in the chat, and you are bloated. You're still overwhelmed and it's not working. And so if you have ever felt this way, I want you to know I see you, I feel you, I hear you, I've been there, and I want to show you the way out. I really do feel like we have been fed a lot of half truths and mixed messages. And no wonder this all feels so hard, but it is so simple. The truth is so simple, and the truth will set us free. And it's way easier than we think. And so at the center of all of this is Mr. T. If you've been to this workshop before, you probably heard me say it. Mr. T is our telomeres. He's just this short little guy, and he is the secret to keeping our bodies happy. When we keep Mr. T happy, we will be happy. We'll be able to lose a stubborn weight. We'll be able to feel like we're balancing our hormones. And the center of this whole workshop is going to show you how to do that in 3 secrets. So secret number 1 is it's not your fault. Your body's playing by new rules. Secret number 2 is your plant-based doctors, influencers, fitness experts are possibly wrong. And secret number 3, it turns out the grit isn't stopping you from feeling amazing. This is. Okay, so let's start with secret number 1. It's not your fault. Your body's playing by new rules. Now, as I told you, this is your guide, Mr. T. He's the telomere, and telomeres are like the ends, the caps on a shoelace. That when that cap on the shoelace gets shorter and shorter and shorter, the shoelace will unravel, right? And the shoelace doesn't actually work as a shoelace anymore. It just kind of unravels. And the same thing happens to the DNA inside of our bodies, that as it unravels, we have a lot of other issues going on. As it gets shorter, right, we're going to be more tired. Our energy is going to be crap. We're going to struggle and with weight gain. And so if Mr. T is happy, then we are happy. I want you to really understand this. And so in the past, our actions didn't really affect Mr. T that much. I really love the YouTube channel by Ryan Trahan. He's such a wholesome, really nice guy. He's a really popular YouTuber, probably almost on the same level as Mr. Beast. My kids love to watch him. He does so many adventures, but man, he hates vegetables. He says it all the time. He's like, can I have a hamburger? No vegetables. He's like, he lets everyone know he hates vegetables. He is thin. He looks awesome. He looks amazing. He appears like he has tons of energy, and it works, right? He's in his 20s. He's in his 20s. It's fine. He will be fine. But we are no longer playing the game of Uno. That simple calories in versus calories out. Super simple, right? Now we're playing the game of Monopoly. It's not as simple. There's new rules. It's not just this calories in versus calories out. It's more complicated. If you were to eat a meal that never had vegetables, you're going to experience other side effects. You're going to be more lethargic. You're not going to have energy. You're going to gain weight, right? There's so many things that go into food besides just the calories in, calories out. As the older that we get, you may experience the hot flashes, right? You may be really moody and all of these things that we didn't have to deal with when we were in our 20s. But as we get older, our body's complicated and it's playing by new rules. And so the biggest thing is this: it is not your fault. It is not your fault. It's what happens with age, right? Our body plays by new rules. And so the only thing is, it's not your fault, but it is your problem to solve. You have to start understanding the new rules. You can't expect to play a game of Monopoly without knowing the rules. You couldn't play it. It wouldn't work. It would be kind of a fail, right? And so I want to teach you these new rules. What are the new rules? When you understand them, you're going to feel like Shalyn. She says, my body feels so much better. Falling asleep is easier. I'm not feeling anxiety nearly as often. My mind feels more clear. I have more energy. People keep asking me if I've lost weight because I look so good. And the only thing I've done is I've changed my diet. She's focusing on more plant foods. She's like, I cannot put into words how much better I feel. And that's what I want to show you. If you can understand these rules, you will feel so much better. When you understand how food affects these telomeres, you're going to feel so much better. So like I said, here's your DNA, here's the telomeres at the end of the caps. They get shorter and shorter, and you get unhealthier and unhealthier. So what is the greatest threat to shortening Mr. T? If you know the answer, put it in the chat. What do you think is the greatest threat to shortening Mr. T? What are all of the fitness influencers telling you? What are all the fitness? They are telling you what? Protein, you're not getting enough protein. The greatest threat, stress, right? What else are they telling you? Sugar. They're telling you sugar. Sugar is the greatest threat. Seed oils, all of these endocrine disruptors, eating junk food, right? Processed foods. Now, I'm not telling you that none of that matters, because of course it all matters, but no one's talking about this. The greatest threat to our telomeres, to our health, when it comes to food, and diet is this: alcohol and processed meats. Alcohol and processed meats. I'm going to say it one more time for those in the back: alcohol and processed meats. That is the greatest threat when it comes to food that we're eating to your health. I was at a Christmas function not that long ago, and we were all doing charcuterie boards, and we're sitting there just these it was with our family, right? So we were in a church building though, with our family, making these processed meats. And I just had to, as we were turning these processed meats into the shape of a flower, I was like, I can't even touch that. I had to walk away. I literally went and cried in the bathroom. It was like, why does no one get this? Why don't we understand that processed meats are terrible? We are literally trying to turn these things that cause cancer in our body into flowers. Like, it's no big deal. We don't understand this impact that it has. There's a study that even just one serving of processed meats a week significantly affects the length of our telomeres. This is a lot bigger deal than anyone is talking about. And it will make you feel like crap if you keep eating these foods. Now, here's my other argument: is it's not only the processing of the meat when we buy processed meats, but it's the process that we put the meat through when we cook it. Because you could be cooking the meat at super high temperatures. You could be doing all those things adding lots of sodium and other things that can affect your health as well. But I'm not just here to tell you what to avoid. I really, really, really want to focus on what to add in, because it's a lot easier, right? A lot easier. And that is, what do you think is the best tool to keep Mr. T happy? What is the best tool to keep Mr. T happy? Fiber. You guys are so awesome. Veggies. Yes, yes. It is plants. Any plant, any fruit, any vegetable, all the things. Eating legumes. Yes, the answer is yes, plants. One study found that out of 4,000 women, that those who were placed on a plant-based diet for 3 months had 29% longer telomeres than the control group during the same period. Because not only is it about what you're taking out, but most importantly, what are you putting in? When you're putting in these foods that help to heal you, you will be healed. You will feel better. And so your telomeres will increase. It will improve your health. But not only does it improve your long-term health, and this is what I want you to get across, because sometimes we just focus on, if you want to avoid cancer and heart disease and diabetes, you've got to eat more plants. And that is true. But we forget, if you want more energy, if you want to balance your hormones, if you want to really just avoid getting sick by the common cold as much as you would otherwise, you still probably will. I still get sick every once in a while, but in general, it's so important that we eat more plants. It will slow down our telomeres, which helps us in the short term and in the long term. And a lot of us don't really think about the long term because it's so far away. It's like, I don't think about getting Alzheimer's disease right now, but I do think about having more energy. But I do wonder, wait, are my hormones off? Like, I'm tired, or maybe I'm gaining weight, or what is going on? And so that's what I want to focus on. And so I really want you to understand the superpower of plants when it comes to your energy, when it comes to repairing this damage that has been done over time. Traditional diets do not always work. When my husband had a stroke, we were following the typical high protein macro-based diet. We were losing weight. I had just had my twins, and we had gained lots of twin baby weight, like 40 pounds. And we had been losing the weight. I had already lost like 20 pounds. And same with my husband. And it was then when he had a stroke. So it doesn't always offer success when it comes to your health numbers. When I was looking at my friend Laura's blood work, she had high cholesterol, and you could lose weight, but your cholesterol can still be high. And what was interesting is they're like, oh yeah, sugar and bread. I'm like, no, that is not what causes high cholesterol, is sugar and bread. That's what the doctor had noted on her thing. And that is not true. And traditional diets don't understand that. We really need to add in more plants. And the secret to this is truly fiber. And I'm going to explain that in just a little bit. But when you eat enough fiber, it will help to turn back the clock. Fiber is what will make you feel like you again. And you don't want to go way crazy high if your body's not used to it. But a lot of times we avoid it completely, or don't have this consistent amount of fiber that will help us to balance our hormones, that will give us everything we need. If you think about it, 100 years ago, we were eating enough fiber, and there were a lot less autoimmune issues. There were a lot less health issues that were going on that we now suffer with. While they had more accidents happening and they were dying younger for infectious diseases. But we have other issues, and it's not just heart disease and diabetes. It's the energy from day to day. And so fiber and plants really are the key. And in point one, we have to understand we're not playing by the old rules anymore. We are playing by new rules, and we have to understand what these new rules are. And so let's go into the detail of these new rules. I want you to understand what it is that you have to do in order to feel like you again. But most of the time, you've been told something different from other plant-based doctors or influencers or fitness experts, right? They've been telling us a variety of information. So I want to know, what have you been told? What have you heard? In order to lose weight, in order to balance your hormones, what have you been told that you need to do? What do you need to do? What have other people told you that you need to do when it comes to your health? More exercise, more. Yes, eat higher protein. Walk, restrict calories, increase exercise, take supplements, more protein, be in a calorie deficit, right? It can get really tricky. Take injections, the GLP-1 injections. People believe that you can't get complete proteins from plants. Cut back on cheese, strength train, build muscle, reduce processed foods, exercise. 30 grams of protein every meal. That's a really common one. Yes. Watch my intake of saturated fat. And a lot of this actually is pretty good advice because yes, watching your intake of saturated fat is a great idea. But then the question is like, how do you actually do it though? How do you do it? Because we were told that after my husband's stroke. And you're like, what does that mean? What foods am I supposed to be eating? How do I apply it? Yeah. So when it comes to all of these, I know a really common one is like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, all of these things. So what's the truth with all this information? Why? Most of the time, it's not what we're being told, but why. We have to understand why we're being told this. And a lot of times it's because people want to sell us something. And it's usually a supplement. It's usually whatever it is that they have. And I get it. And I understand like it's really important for people to have these businesses and make money. And I support that if it really does help them. But I want to give you the tools that you don't necessarily have to buy a supplement in order to feel better, right? And so here's the tools when it comes to the new rules that your body is living by. These are the new rules. Number one, you need to look at your plate every time you eat and ask yourself, do I have a plant-based protein source? Is there a whole grain of potato on my plate? Is there a vegetable and is there a fruit? And you need to do that for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. For example, I'm traveling right now, so I'm not perfect. At home, I'm a lot better, but for breakfast, I didn't have a vegetable. It got away from me. There's a lot going on, right? For lunch, I didn't have a fruit. That's pretty typical. But the thing is, and I had like white pasta with spaghetti sauce for lunch, right? I did have some tofu. I did have my protein source. So I didn't have my whole grain. And as we do this, like here and there, we're just not getting enough fiber. We're not getting enough fiber. We're not giving your body what it needs, even though we think we're eating healthy. We think we're doing what's right. But when you change to really focus on a plant-based, PlantWhys plate, it affects everything. And you don't have to be perfect. Like clearly, like today, as I'm traveling, I wasn't perfect at it, but most of the time, 90% of the time, this is how I eat. And so the way that I do plant-based doesn't have to look like the way you do it. It can be different. And that's what Jess said. She said it was surprising. This can work for you and it is beautiful. Heather said, I learned that I didn't need to worry about whether my kids would like it. I thought they wouldn't, but guess what they did? Because there's so much flexibility in this plate. And like Melissa said, she said, I learned I was eating too much of all the good healthy stuff, right? All the good healthy fats, which was preventing her from losing weight. And Jessica said, the eating plant-based has given me back control. At 6 months after chemo, her blood work is all in the normal range, and she has a lot of credit for the PlantWhys program. Okay, so when it comes to protein, everyone's going to say 1 gram of protein for 1 pound of body weight. And the truth is that's not actually correct. You do not need to go that far. That is like crazy high. And scientifically, it tapers off at about 0.7 grams per pound of body weight. And that's only if you're actually strength training, if you're doing the work in the gym. And most of us are not doing the work in the gym. And so when it comes to getting protein, we also don't want to ignore it, because then you're going to be on the other spectrum, right? So you see all of these plant-based influencers, they're like, you don't need to worry about protein, just do the 50-50 plate. But if you ignore it, then they see that their hair is falling out, their nails are getting more brittle. There's so many other side effects. They're like, okay, clearly I should actually worry about protein. But going so crazy high, what it does is it pushes out all of the other plant-based foods. So you're not getting enough fiber. And if you're not getting enough fiber, you're not going to feel like you again, but you are higher in protein. And so where's the truth, right? And the truth really is in the middle. Adequate protein. It's not too crazy high. It's not a little. And in the PlantWhys program, when we go through the Jumpstart program together, which we're going to do next week, I have a group coaching call where we all figure out specifically for you, for how much you weigh, for what your height is, what your protein needs are based off of if you're working out or not. But I want to give you some general advice because I want you to take away some information of what adequate protein actually looks like. So for the average woman, it's going to be about 20 grams per meal. So every time you look down, you're like, does this entire meal have at least about 20 grams of protein? And that's adequate protein. It's not the crazy high 30 grams. Like 30 grams is just too much. You don't need that much, right? Unless you're a bodybuilder, then that's the exception. But it's just 20 grams. It's doable. And again, this is just for the average person. Now, this new way, it gives you the protein that your body needs. When you eat enough protein, you're going to feel full, right? You're not going to be as snacky. You're going to reduce your cravings. You're going to be able to keep your muscle mass. That's super important because we want you to lose weight without losing your muscle. So we want you eating adequate protein so that you can feed your muscle at the same time. But we also don't want you to eat so much protein that you're not eating enough fiber, that is crowding out the fiber. Okay, number 2, let's talk about those whole grains. Most people are going to say it doesn't matter. Like my husband bought the white pasta. I'm like, let's at least get some whole wheat pasta, right? And we don't think it matters that much, but there's a gram of fiber there, a gram of fiber here, a gram of fiber there. And before you know it, you're not getting enough fiber. And fiber really is the key. It's going to be at the center. And so it does matter. You can have like 1 serving a day of refined grain and it's not going to impact you that much. But as you're doing it over and over and over, you're not going to get enough fiber. Does your weight matter for total grams of protein? Joni, it depends on your height. It's mostly your height, but usually your ideal body, it's more about your ideal body weight and not your current weight. So usually no, when it comes to that. Okay. So for whole grains and potatoes, we want to make sure that you're getting that in your body because that's where the most fiber comes from. It's going to come from whole grains and beans. Whole grains and beans. If you're just eating fruits and vegetables, you think you're getting enough fiber, but you're not. If you eat just fruits and vegetables, but are having no other carbs, which is what most diet plans will have you follow, you are going to be fiber deficient. Okay. We need at least 25 grams of fiber a day for women, at least 25 grams. And it's kind of surprising how that can be very difficult. The average female gets closer to 10 to 15 grams of fiber a day. That's it. And if all you did was get to that number, the 25 grams, that small insignificant thing will significantly improve your health, will help you feel so much better, will help to balance your hormones, to help all of the other things. And so much of the energy is talked about sugar, right? But 10 grams less of sugar, like that doesn't matter as much as fiber. Like fiber really is the key. And in order to get the fiber, you've got to eat the whole grains and beans. You have to. And so having a moderate serving with each meal is so important because that is where you're going to get adequate fiber. And this new way is letting you eat carbs. We're not avoiding carbs and we're not overdoing it on the carbs too, because just like overdoing the protein can push out all of the fiber, overdoing it on the carbs can push out the protein. If we just had a potato and veggie plate, we would not be able to get adequate protein long term. I'm okay with doing that short term, 2 weeks max. But after that long term, you really are going to see hair loss. You'll see some other issues when it comes from not getting adequate protein, unless you're eating a ton of food. Again, fiber is the key. If there's one takeaway, it's this. And we think we're getting enough fiber, but I dare you to count it. Unless you are truly like amazingly plant-based, and a lot of like some of the plant-based health influencers, I'm sure they're getting like 60 grams of fiber a day. They're amazing. But most of us aren't getting there. We're not getting just to 25 grams. For men, it's going to be 35 grams. So even more. That is just the minimum, the minimum. We could always do better as long as your gut can handle it if you eat even more. And so it's okay. Now, vegetables, like I said, for breakfast, I didn't think of a vegetable, but it's so important to have a vegetable with every single meal. Usually I always add frozen rice cauliflower to my breakfast, but again, we're traveling. I didn't have it on hand, but it's so important to have a vegetable because that is your major source of insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is what acts like a scrub brush and goes throughout your intestines and scrubs all of the excess hormones that we don't want in there, like excess estrogen, right? If you feel like crap, if you're not feeling good, it's that insoluble fiber that's going to come through and pull all of this excess hormones out of your system. Again, fiber is key. Fiber is key. And the types of fiber matters. And insoluble fiber in particular is mostly found in vegetables. And that's the one that acts like the scrub brush to scrub out your gut, right? It's like a toilet scrubber. Like it gets all the hard stuff that's been in there too long. It really cleans it out. So we need that insoluble fiber. Now, a lot of people are going to say bloating and gas. When I talk about fiber, I always need to address the bloating and gas, and that is true. Sometimes we can overdo it. There's cruciferous vegetables that are so good. They're so good to prevent cancer. But if we overdo it, guess what happens? We get bloating and gas, and it's not very comfortable. So it's really important that you listen to your body, that you go low and slow, that you recognize, like maybe your body can't handle broccoli, but I bet it could handle like 3 little broccoli trees, right? Recognize how much your body can handle and be aware of FODMAPs, which is also what I teach in my program. And FODMAPs are these specific types of vegetables that have a higher chance of giving you bloating and gas. And so to stay away from those, usually green-based foods like leafy greens are going to be great, but maybe those cruciferous vegetables, we just need 1 serving and not to overdo it. So it's super important that you listen to your body and don't just think, okay, it's all fruits and vegetables, let me add it in, because we don't want to have gas and bloating. And you have to be smart about it, because say, for example, chickpeas give you gas and bloating. I want you to focus on, okay, slowly adding in more chickpeas, and then, okay, maybe you're fine. But then if you eat kidney beans, then they give you gas and bloating, right? So you have to be smart about not just adding all the foods all at once. It's slow and low and controlled. And then the last thing on that PlantWhys plate is fruit. Fruit is the biggest source of soluble fiber. So veggies are insoluble fiber, fruit is soluble fiber. And also fruit has more vitamin C. It has some more antioxidants. Like if you think of all the colors on berries, vegetables are so good. Like leafy greens are amazing, but fruit is really good too. We don't want to just eat one. We have to recognize that the two work hand in hand. One has more soluble fiber, one has more insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber is what keeps you feeling fuller longer. It's going to give the bulk to your stool. And when you have more bulk, your body produces more bile. Every time you go to the bathroom, it produces more bile. You need cholesterol to make bile. Your liver needs that cholesterol. So therefore, what happens is you go more regularly, you're going to be able to lower your cholesterol numbers. It's so important that we prioritize these foods and we don't avoid it. A lot of people will say, okay, you want your protein, maybe your whole grain, and then they'll have the whole other half of your plate just vegetables, but you're missing the fruit. The fruit is so important. We don't want to avoid it. We want 3 servings of fruit a day. 3 servings. If you do that, you will see your sugar cravings go down significantly. A lot of us feel like, oh, but I always need a sweet treat. And it's true. You can still have your sweet treat, but eat your fruit first, and then you can have your little piece of chocolate. Then you can have a little bit more, and you will see a significant difference in your cravings if you prioritize eating fruit at least 3 times a day. So old way, avoid it, or maybe even just 1 serving a day. The average American has 0.69 servings of fruit a day, so not even a full serving a day, right? And so now instead, we're going to lean into our sweet tooth with fruit. We're going to prioritize having a fruit for dessert first before you add any other dessert, right? So you have a fruit with every single meal. That's the new way. Those are the new rules that you have to live by. When you do this, you're going to see the difference. You're going to feel so much better, right? Versus the old way. The old way of just the calories in versus calories out. The new way is where you feel amazing. You feel amazing. You feel like you have more energy. You feel like you're sleeping better, right? You have less acne. There's so many beneficial side effects because you're getting all the micronutrients, not just the macronutrients, but the micronutrients your body needs too. And you're giving it enough fiber without overdoing it so that you're not getting bloated, right? We want to make sure that it's a good balance of foods here. And so the next question is probably, yes, that sounds great, but now I'm going to have to learn hundreds of new meals with this like PlantWhys plate. And I'm here to tell you it's not that complicated. I promise. Like you can easily just piece like, okay, my plant-based source of protein will be beans, my whole grain will be brown rice, and then I'll add in some peppers and greens for my vegetable, and then I'll finish it off with an orange. Like it can be so simple. But just to give you another example, I'm going to have you play a game. So write it in the chat. I'm going to ask you if this is a PlantWhys plate. So look at this plate right now. This is our game. Tell me in the chat, is this a PlantWhys plate? Does this have the fruit, the veggie, the whole grain, and the plant-based source of protein? And remember, the plant-based source of protein has to be about 20 grams. And so the answer is, most of you guys got it. Yes, it is. It has quinoa and beans, and the two together make about 20 grams of protein. We have the cucumbers, the oranges. This is a PlantWhys plate. We combined, right, the protein and the whole grain there. What about this one? Is this a PlantWhys plate? Is this a PlantWhys plate? Now, in the PlantWhys program, we are flexible with the whole grains. Sometimes if you don't have access to whole wheat tortillas, you can use a regular tortilla, that's fine. So technically with the whole grain, maybe that's not there, but in general, these are actually soy curls. And so they have tons of protein. You've got your protein, you have your veggies in there, and you have your fruit. So yes, it is a PlantWhys plate. Is this a PlantWhys plate? Is this a PlantWhys plate? This is the typical plate. If you were to just open up a magazine, which is what we did, which is where we got this image, this is the healthy plate, right? Here's the thing. No, it's not. We think that eating chicken is like the best source of protein. Well, most of you guys know, but in general, healthy people are like, okay, yeah, you have your chicken and your salad. That's got to be so healthy. We have our healthy fats. But here's the thing. Those char marks on that chicken have carcinogens on it. Whenever you grill, like I said, those processed meats, or when you process it yourself, those grilled marks are carcinogenic. So we're putting that in our body. Number two, there's no whole grain. You're not going to be full. Where's the fiber? You think you have enough fiber because you have all the veggies. I will say though, avocados are a great source of fiber. So there's that. But in general, you may still feel hungry because you don't have that whole grain. And where's the fruit? You're also going to crave something sweet because there's not a fruit. So it will feel good in your body for a couple hours maybe, and then you're going to be more snacky and have more cravings because you didn't have your fruit along with it. So again, the best part about this is that it is doable. It's really easy and it keeps Mr. T happy. Goes back to this, right? Why are we doing this? We are doing this to keep Mr. T happy. When you are following a health plan, I like to view it as people are putting on different types of glasses, right? They're seeing through life with rose-colored glasses. And some people see through life with protein-colored glasses. It's like protein, protein, protein. That's all they see. And that's okay. I don't blame them for it. That's what the wellness industry is teaching right now. But I want you to see through Mr. T colored glasses so that as you're looking at meals, you're like, this will keep Mr. T happy. It's not just about the protein. It's about keeping your telomeres long and strong. It's about being healthy. And this is what keeps Mr. T happy. And I love what Jana had to say. She said, before learning about PlantWhys, my family and I ate meat at almost every single meal, and for sure at least once a day. Now, after following PlantWhys for a while, we only eat meat a few times a week, and it increased our consumption of vegetables, of beans and legumes. I have felt an increase in the amount of energy I have, even while being pregnant. Thank you for your encouragement to eat more plants. Like that's what it can do for you. And so now let's go to secret number 3. Secret number 3 is really the key here because it turns out grit isn't stopping you from feeling amazing. This is. But before I begin, I have a little bit of a story. So when I met my husband, when we were dating, I lived in Utah. He lived in Washington, D.C. He was going to law school and I was getting my master's at the University of Utah. And we were dating long distance. We got engaged and I gave up everything that I knew at the time, right? And all my friends, all of my work, I had a great job, all these things. And my school, I transferred to George Washington University and I was there for about 6 weeks before we got married. And one day I was like, this is so hard. I don't know anyone. I was super depressed. It was a cold January day. I took off my wedding ring, my engagement ring. We weren't married yet. I took off my engagement ring and I put it right on the table and I just left. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. My poor husband was like, what's going on? He called my mom to call me and she talked to me and I was in the school library just crying. I'm like, I can't do this. This is too hard. I was like, I know that Lincoln is the one for me. I know that we are supposed to get married. Out of all the guys I've ever dated, I know he's the one. This is everything I've wanted, but it's too hard and I can't do it. How many of you have felt that way when it comes to plant-based eating? How many of you have read all the books, you know the science, when it comes to actually doing it, to living it out, you're like, I can't do this. This is too hard. Here's the thing. My mom was like, okay, just change one little thing. I need you to change one little thing because I wasn't getting good sleep at the time. So she was like, just focus on your sleep. I ironically was sleeping under the stairs in my friend's little Harry Potter closet, which is because I was only there for 6 weeks before we got married. Anyway, so she was like, just focus on sleeping in a real bed, not on the floor, get good sleep. So that's what I did. And as I got good sleep, I felt a lot better about everything else, right? It helped everything else. And so that's one thing that I want you to think about. What is one little thing that you can change? When I was talking to my friend Laura, at the very beginning, for those who weren't there, I have a really good friend, Laura, who is struggling with her health right now. And she is the breadwinner in her family. She has her own kids plus stepkids. She's in her 40s. She's gained weight. She's feeling exhausted. And she told me, Allie, I know you're going to tell me to eat plant-based, but I can't. I know it's like the best thing. Her husband even had a stroke too. She's like, I know I should be doing it, but I can't. That is too much for me right now. I'm too overwhelmed. It's just too hard. So I was like, okay, can you change one thing? Can you change one meal? And she was like, yes. And I was like, and it can be breakfast or lunch so that you're not even having to worry about changing dinner and what everyone else will eat, because she has younger kids and older kids, like teenagers, picky eaters, all the things. I was like, okay, if you could change one thing, let it be this. And I want everyone to take this away. For breakfast or for lunch, I want you to eat an entire can of beans. An entire can of beans. I don't care what else you add to it, as long as it's not over 600 calories total. Like, we don't want to make this huge, really super calorie dense meal with your can of beans, but eat one can of beans. And I gave her 2 different meals, which you will get in our program if you end up joining, but just a simple, like, can of black beans with some veggie broth and seasonings. It tastes really good. And then this other one is just this simple chickpea shake that you get a can of chickpeas. You add peanut butter powder, cocoa powder, right? And some maple syrup. Turns out it's delicious. I was like, just change that. And the reason why is because we could drop the whole grain, okay, because you're getting all the fiber from the beans. And technically beans are considered a vegetable, so you kind of got that. But you get 25 grams of protein and 25 grams of fiber in one meal, right? 2 biggest, I would say, dominoes when it comes to your health, when it comes to feeling like you again. And that mix of 20 to 25 grams of fiber, 20 to 25 grams of protein in one meal is pretty much like nature's Ozempic. It's like the one thing you can do. If that's all you can do, just do this one thing, but it does have to be the whole can of beans. You'll find that you probably will not be as hungry like in your next meal or your next meal. Your cravings will go down, everything else. If you feel like you can't change every single meal in your life, if you do that one little thing, she was like, done. I can do this. I can do this. And I want you to understand too, like, if that's all you can do it, right? You can do it. And I will have delicious recipes in my membership. I want you to understand that this can be easy. Fiber is the key. We need the 25 grams of fiber. And that's why one can of beans has it all. Even if you need to take that can of beans and like even it out throughout the different meals, that's okay, so that your gut can handle it. This can be delicious. You can do this, but there's one tiny more thing that's really important to understand. And I wore a blood sugar monitor to understand this, just to understand a little bit more about my health. And what I found really surprised me. See this little spike right here? I didn't eat any food, but my blood sugar spiked. That is where I got mad at my husband for not finishing the dishes, right? And see this spike over here? This was a stressful work call. I wasn't eating anything. It was actually a stressful work call. And this is where I taught a webinar, which is probably happening in my body right now as we speak. It was like when I was teaching a webinar just like this. And this was when I was talking to my friend about kid stuff. And we are just like complaining about our kids and frustrated about what's going on with our kids, right? That was wild. It's amazing what stress can do to your body. What's also fascinating is this one. This is where I was scrolling social media, laying down in my bed, just scrolling social media. Woo, stress went right up there. So if you're serious about your health, you need to be serious about addressing your stress as well. And your body can't release weight until it feels safe. Your body can't release weight until it feels safe. And here's the thing, men and women are different. Your husband or another influencer who's a male will probably give you some advice, but the truth is men and women are very, very different. Men think things through. Women talk it out. Men think things through. Women have to talk it out. That's how we relieve our stress. If a man is really stressed, it's almost like give him some space, let him be alone, let him work out in the yard or do other things. For women, it's like put me in a group of other women and let's just complain together, whatever it is. And then we'll feel better. We'll feel better afterwards. There is something magical. Women feel safer in a community because our nervous systems were literally designed for it. We feel safer in a community. That's why all of us are on this call. Like, we crave it. We want to be seen, heard, and understood together. And when we do, our stress significantly decreases. And so the old way of stress is just numbing it out, going to food, right? Avoiding, powering through, doing it alone. But this new way of stress, these new rules that your body are going through that you have to understand is you have to feel it to heal it. And you have to work together. Invite God into it. Even if you can't join a community, at least be in a community with your higher deity, your higher power, right? Nourish instead of numb. Like these are the new ways we're nourishing instead of numbing out. We're understanding that's what we need. Safety doesn't come from isolation. It comes from connection. When you feel seen, supported, normalized, and guided, your cortisol drops, your oxytocin rises, your digestion improves, your insulin sensitivity improves, your fat becomes easier to release, your habits feel easier to maintain. Your body literally moves into a healing state when you're not doing it alone. Just like Erin said, she's like, there's so much like fear-based contradicting information that's so time-consuming, conflicting. She felt alone, she felt isolated, she felt overwhelmed. But PlantWhys was the key to her overcoming each struggle that she had. It helped her replace feelings of isolation and discouragement with support and encouragement. And that's the key. These are the 3 secrets, right? This is how you can balance your hormones, how you can feel like you again. And so right now, I want to ask you, how confident are you that if you were able to do this, that your body's best days are ahead, that the best days are ahead, that it's not in the past, it's not when you're in your 20s, that really your best days are now and ahead. Because if you actually feed your body, you play the new rules, you understand the rules of Monopoly, you will feel amazing. And so I want to remind you that I have a gift for you, this monthly plant-based meal plan by PlantWhys. I want to be able to show you what it's like to put all these elements together in a meal. And we've done that in our meal plan so that there's at least 20 grams of protein, you have your fiber for your day, you have all of the little parts figured out for you in the meal plan. Even if you don't follow it completely, you can at least get meal ideas from it. And so right now you have a choice. And I want to give you that meal plan, but it's at the very end after I explain to you our program. And I'm going to give you this choice to join our program. I'm going to invite you in where we help you with the accountability to everything that I just taught. And you can keep going on that same path that you were on before, but if you make a different choice, then I want to remind you of your future, right? Being able to travel, have the energy to travel, being able to serve a service mission, or just be able to dance at that next event. And I want to introduce you to the PlantWhys Collective. It is our membership. It really is a collection of everything that you will need to help you in your plant-based journey. And specifically, we really focus on the first 40 days because those 40 days are important and it could change everything. If you think about it, the number 40 is significant. You see it in the Bible all the time. You have Moses who went to Mount Sinai for 40 days. You have Noah and the rain for 40 days, the flood, right? You have even Jesus went to fast for 40 days. And even just women in general, like after we have gone through labor, which is 40, we have 9 months, right? And then after that, our healing process after giving birth is 40 days, 6 weeks, right? It's around 6 weeks. That's what takes for our body to heal after that big change. And so in our program, those first 40 days is called the 40-day jumpstart. That's where we give you one tiny step at a time. We start you off with 4 basic habits, and then each week we add 2 more habits so that by the end, you are just living a very plant-based lifestyle, but it doesn't even feel like it's been hard because you've eased into it over time. We work on not only the food and what you're going to be eating and getting your numbers right, but we also really work on mindset. That first 40-day jumpstart is this course that this is the only time I offer this. We go through it live together. We're going to go through it live in January. So this January, each week, it's going to start next week. It's going to be your prep week. And then after that will be week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. We'll go through it together. We're working together. We have prizes every single week to help you with accountability. We give you free t-shirts or you can get a free meal plan. There's so much benefit to be part of a group so you stay on track. But here's the cool thing about this particular offer, what you don't get if you join any other time is you get lifetime access to this course, to this, your first 40-day jumpstart. So even if life gets overwhelming, you can always go back to it. So you have lifetime access to this part of our membership, this part of the collective. So this is valued at over $597. But that's not all. We also have, as part of our membership, what's called the emotional eating reset. So after we go through the first 40-day jumpstart, then together we go through the emotional eating course, that reset. And for 15 days, we really focus on anything that has plateaued your weight loss. We reset your plate, we rewire your mind, and we really help you develop a healthy relationship with food. What are all of the reasons why you're eating when you know you shouldn't be eating these things? What are the emotional emotional reasons. We also, as part of the emotional eating reset, have what's called our embodiment course, where we go through a series of 5 minutes a day yin yoga exercises to help release trapped emotions in different parts of your body. We have 5 heart-centered meditations that really help you go deep emotionally to open you up to that change so that you can feel safe in your body. I think sometimes we just like disregard our body, but women, we have to understand we have to open ourselves up to receive, right? We have the masculine and the feminine, and both women and men need a really good balance of both masculine and feminine. Masculine is like go, 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 do, do, do. And feminine is like receiving and opening yourself up. And so it's so important to receive and to open and to balance you out so that you can overcome any type of emotional eating. So that is part of our membership that you'll get access to for that 40 days, right? For the first 2 months. And part of our membership that you'll have access to for those first 2 months is called your Powerful Body series, which has over 140 exercise videos, just exercise videos. But on top of that, we have Pilates classes that you can join live. We have our 5 minutes a day Pilates series that you'll start out with in your first 40-day jumpstart. 5 minutes a day, you'll work on your strong core so that we can really tighten everything and make you really work on the foundation to build more strength. After we go through the Pilates, then we have the 5 minute a day strength series. We keep it super simple. So even if you're 70 years old, you can do this. Even if you're 80 years old, you can do this because it's basic and simple. But then if you've had the experience before, you've done group workout classes before, we also have what's our strength training app, which gives you the progressive overload option to truly build more muscle. Our strength training app gives you the specific exercises that you need to do. And every time you keep track, you work on the next time to go a little bit heavier or do one more rep, right? And that's how you gain more muscle. So this is perfect for every level, from the newest of newbies to the more experienced levels. If you've been down that road before, but want to improve and be more effective in your workouts. I love this comment I got. I was just sharing on social media, like one of my workout classes, and she said, I love your Pilates. I'm not even kidding. I have gotten so strong and made big improvements in form just following your Pilates on the PlantWhys membership. It's changing the entire shape of my body. I have lost 4 inches of belly just eating PlantWhys plates and doing your Pilates faithfully. I feel like I was meant to come across your program as it is changing my life. I've never felt so grateful. And that's all. This is all I'm doing. I'm inviting you to this. Like if you feel like you were meant for this program, I'm just inviting you in. Or like Gail said, I have been able to lose 30 pounds in 6 months and it is still coming off. It is life-changing. So then I'm getting stronger and stronger with the Pilates for every level. And it has been a huge help with my hips. So again, this is all part of the exercise portion. It starts with 5 minutes a day and it goes even longer. You can do our full workout classes. Again, it's whatever you need. But the benefit of doing this is that you'll be able to jump, sneeze, and run without peeing your pants. A slimmer waist, a tighter tummy. You'll be able to chase your kids and grandkids around. You'll be able to squat down on the ground to lift them up, right? You'll say goodbye to back and hip pain. You become stronger than ever before, and you'll find joy and confidence in movement. That's my goal, that you just know that you're going to work out because you love it. You love it so much, and you found that love by really understanding how to do it right. And so that's included in our memberships at $400 value, but you'll get 2 months access to not only the emotional eating reset, but also the Powerful Body series valued at $1,294. And we also have cooking videos, recorded cooking videos and live cooking videos, right? So here's our recording cooking videos that come with our no recipe cookbook, our cooking demos, with family-friendly meals with step-by-step instructions. If you love my YouTube channel, you'll love that even more. And it's not only me, it's my whole team that has made this cooking class vault so that you can learn how to cook plant-based if you don't already know how. So that's $1,594 in value so far. And the total cost of getting lifetime access to your first 40-day jumpstart course and then 2 months access into the rest of our membership is only $97. Let me also explain that after 2 months, you can choose to cancel. You'll still have lifetime access to your first 40-day jumpstart. Or if you love the membership, everything that's included in the membership, like the workout app or the emotional eating reset, all those things, that you can stay for $37 a month after those first 2 months. And that's your price as long as you want to stay. The thing is, normally it's $47 a month. And so this is where I'm like, this is the best deal I offer, I promise. Normally this is $47 a month to stay in our membership. So this whole value, $1,594. But I forgot one thing that I'm throwing in as well as part of our membership, and that is live classes. How many of you have paid for a course? and there's no live aspect. Like I know I paid for so many where I'm like, I need to learn how to do that. But then I get stuck and I have a question and they don't have a live aspect. They don't have a place where you can go to ask questions. And it's so frustrating because you're not getting that one-on-one connection. In our group call last week, it was small. It was like, there was like 4 people on there because it was the week of Christmas, but still. And one of our members was like, Allie, this is what I love about your membership is that you show up. You are there every single week. It's not like some other program where we barely get access. Like you are there every single week. And it's true. You get a monthly life coaching call with our life coach Gail. You get the daily private community where you can text. It's like a Facebook group that's not on Facebook. You get a weekly call with me, a group coaching call with me, and you get a weekly accountability call with one of our team members. Plus we have the book club, a monthly book club call, and a monthly live cooking class, right? So you have so many calls where you can join. And right now we're also hosting an in-person retreat and that is happening in May, and you get the early bird invite for that. So of our annual retreat, which is so fun. So again, this is not just grit. You don't just need grit. We need each other. And I asked my members, what's your favorite part of joining PlantWhys? And by far, everyone was like, the community, the community. I love it. Larissa said, the information from the video is life-changing, but the continued support has helped me stay on track. Everyone here is so kind. Elizabeth said, reporting daily gains and goals has been the most beneficial to me. Even though I'm often forget, I don't always do it, but that is what has helped her improving her health. Deb said, definitely the encouragement and support in the community, on the calls and with everyone's posts. I'm always so inspired by reading everyone's gains and goals. I love the information in the videos, life-changing as well. And the PlantWhys program and membership are phenomenal. But he says the positive accountability in the community in the program, along with the masterclasses, have been game changers, right? And so that's just like, you don't have to be 100% plant-based, like 80 to 90% is totally fine. But the support of the group has been my best inspiration and keeps me committed. Seeing that I am not the only one struggling helps a lot. So I hope you understand, women, we need each other. This is how we do things. This is how we operate at the best. And we've been doing other programs where it doesn't have every single aspect that we need. And so we have the tribe, the PlantWhys tribe for a reason, so that you have literally every key to keep you successful, to be able to make the changes that I just taught you. Like, you're welcome to go and make those changes on your own. You're more than welcome to. But I promise if you have the support of the community, that is the game changer. So in order to join, you just go to www.plantwhys.com/40, plantwhys.com/40, and you get, again, your lifetime access to the first 40-day jumpstart, and then 2 months access to everything else inside our community. If you choose to stay after those 2 months, it will just automatically bill you $37 a month. If you want to cancel, that's fine. But normally, keep in mind, it's $47 a month if you ever wanted to rejoin. So it really is such a great deal. Regularly $47 a month. Right now for just $97. I'm going to put this in the chat really quick. And then I have a couple more things. Again, we start the Jumpstart together live on Monday. So you need to join as soon as possible, so that you can start. Like, everyone's like, okay, new year, new me, let's focus on it. Let's focus on making healthy, sustainable changes and not just quick fixes. Now, once you go to your plantwhys.com/40, you'll see a site that gives you more information. If you choose to check out, you can add on 3 things. Number 1, you can add on a meal guide, our fall meal guide, which is fantastic. I always suggest it. Number 2, it's going to ask you if you want to add on the Mindset Mastery series. So I'm going to explain what that is. The Mindset Mastery series is recordings from my high ticket group coaching program that I used to offer, where we would work on a small group setting weekly on their mindset and with other things. And so I recorded those series. It's a 6-month program. So I recorded that 6-month program. I don't offer it live anymore, but you can get the recordings to that. And that's called the Mindset Mastery series. And the second thing it's going to ask you, if you want, is you have the option to add on lifetime access to just that first 30-day Pilates program. I don't offer this anywhere else, but it's inside the membership. But if you ever cancel the membership, you can get lifetime access to that 30-day. It's basically how to fix diastases, how to really strengthen your core, how to tighten your tummy. So that is going to be asked after you check out. So I just don't want you to be surprised. So you'll check out and you can just say, no, I don't want this. No, I don't want this. No, I don't want this. Or if you want to add these on, it's an option. And then after you're asked about the Pilates, then it will say complete purchase. So just a heads up, just give me 40 days. Again, you don't have to stay in the membership. You can always just give it just at least 40 days. That's $97, 40 days. And then if you're like, I love this so much, which many people do, you're welcome to stay, but at least give me those 40 days where you really focus on yourself, on improving yourself. Okay. So here is the link, and I'm going to put this in. So it's just the tinyurl.com/PlantWhys. I'm going to put this in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and write them in the chat, and I'm going to start answering those questions. And really quick, I'm going to actually just get these links so that you have them. So number one, here is the monthly meal guide. I'm going to put this in the chat really quick. And then, so here's the first month free to the meal plan. And then the first 40 days, plantwhys.com/40. Let's get that one to you too. Sorry. So that one is really simple, just /40. And then you'll see, we're going to kind of go through it together. You'll see this page, and then you'll click on the actual link. So let me just click on it right here so you can see, yep, I need your help. You'll click on it. You'll go through buy now. And then when you check out, you'll see those two options. Number one, you can just like add on the meal guide right here. And then after you check out, and then it will ask you if you want the mindset series or the workout classes too. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna stop my share. Let's answer all these beautiful questions that you have. Let me go through. Okay, is this $97 total or is it monthly? So it is $97. Will give you 2 months in the membership and lifetime access to your first 40-day jumpstart. Then if you don't do anything, you'll be charged $37 a month. But if you want to, or you can log in at any point and just push stop the subscription and it will stop it. So it's $97 for 2 months. On the third month, it will be $37 a month if you choose to stay with everything else in the membership. If you want to cancel it, you totally can. Some people even just stay for 6 months or whatever it is until you feel like you've had all the help that you need. It's nice to go through all the emotional eating, then we do the strength training together. So if strength training is your goal, after we do the first 40 days, we do emotional eating together. After we do emotional eating and embodiment, then we go into the strength training. So if you wanted that extra month of like getting one-on-one help with strength training, then I would say you'd probably want to stay too. Okay. How do you get 20 grams of protein at breakfast? So many different ways. I mean, you can eat a can of beans. You can easily eat a can of beans, right? And some people have a smoothie with silk and tofu. Some people will do plant-based protein powder. Some people, you can actually get oats that are high protein oats. And I don't know how because it is just oats. I don't know what they change, but you can get them like at Walmart. They're in a purple bag. There's a lot of different ones. Yeah. And I would suggest if you want more ideas to get the meal plan, first month free in the meal plan. After that's $10 a month if you want to stay. So again, same thing, like enjoy that first month. And then if you want to continue, if not, you can always cancel. If I can't make a live class, are they recorded? Yes. All of them are recorded. All of them are recorded. And you can even ask a question inside the community, be like, I can't join live, but I have these questions. Can you answer them for me? Yes, we totally will. We totally will. We are either me or team member is inside the community page every single day. So there is no comment that does not get looked at, that is not seen. So we do respond to those too. What was the chickpea and peanut butter recipe? So it's a can of chickpeas with powdered peanut butter because it's a lot lower in calories. Remember, a can of beans and whatever flavor you add to it, you don't want it to exceed like 600 calories or else it's going to be too caloric. So I'm going to tell you, yes, eat a can of beans every day. But if you were to make a can like bean cookies, that's like 1,000 calories. So you do have to be mindful of what you're adding to the beans for sure. How do you know if you're doing the workout properly? That is the benefit of being part of the community. So you will follow the cues, right? I'm very specific on the cues, especially for the 5-minute series. Like it's very basic. I really taught the workouts so that, because a lot of the people in my program are 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. So that anyone who's 80 could do it. And so it's very simple and basic. I even have series that if you can't get down on the floor, that you can just do it sitting. Again, just 5 minutes a day. I have a whole system. There's no wrong way to do it because it's so basic. Then as things get more advanced, that's why I say if you would want to understand strength training a little bit more, I highly suggest sticking around at least until month 3. Because month 3, we do a whole month on strength training. We just finished it in our program actually. And you can ask all those questions like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? You can even send videos. If you're like, is this right? Is my form off? And I'll answer those too. Do you adjust anything for diabetics? Yes. So we will, yes. We do. And that's the first week. So the prep week, that's next week. Our call on Monday, I go through if you have diabetes, if you're pre-diabetic, this is what you need to focus on. I go through how that would change things. I go through if you're really tall versus really short, how to find your ideal body weight based off of all of those things. Yeah. I just signed up for the meal plan. Will it be emailed? So the meal plan is you'll just log into plantwhys.com/login and you'll log in there. Yeah, you'll log into it there. But we can also send out an email reminder that it's up to. What is the difference between 1 month free and the 40 days? So 1 month free gives you 1 month. 40 days gives you 2 months. 2 months free inside the membership. So 1 month free, if you were to just do the membership, $47 a month, 1 month free will give you 1 month. and you do not have lifetime access to, so 1 month free is just the meal plan. By the way, there's 2 separate things. That's just the meal plan. Meal plan is totally separate from our membership because not everyone needs a meal plan. Not everyone feels like they need it. So 2 separate things, meal plan and then our membership 40-day jumpstart. Okay, so meal plan separate. Keep that in mind. 40-day jumpstart. This is the best offer because you can totally do and join if you found somewhere that I don't even offer anymore, but you might have found it somewhere. 1 month free insider membership. And that's great. You can test it out, but you don't get lifetime access to anything. Where if you join with the $97, you get 2 months, right? So similar, but you get lifetime access to the first 40-day jumpstart. So you get to keep that forever. What is the difference? Okay, so the prep just for you, if I cook for a family, how will that be included? I cook for a family too, and it's pretty simple. And a lot of the recipes that you can see, most recipes are for 4 people, and that's just across the board. And so I usually double a lot of the recipes when I cook for my family. Thank you, Allie. I'm already in the PlantWhys tribe. Woo woo! Yes, Shelly, you're the best. And I can't hardly wait to join Jumpstart again. Watching this today has helped me refresh and prep my mindset. I can hardly wait to check out the Mastery Mindset series. Yes. Yes, Shelly, I'll send you the link to those too. Oh, I love it. Yes, it's so great. It's so great. Shelly's been the best. She has done amazing. It's so fun to see. I love that you're here, to see so many members here too, that you guys would watch this again. You guys have all seen this, and I love seeing your faces all over again. Just to be reminded of the basics. It really does come down to, are we eating enough fiber? You don't have to take crazy supplements or be super strict or restrictive, but we do need to prioritize fiber, getting at least 25 grams of fiber and getting at least 20 grams of protein each meal, or 60 grams in the day for the average female. So those 2 things, if you were to just focus on those 2 things, like, you will feel so much better. Those 2 basic things. But the problem is you're going to do it on your own. And kind of like me, when I was first newly married, I'm like, this is really hard though. And I wanted to give up. And when you're part of a tribe, like, you really can keep going. Or even if you just focus on like, okay, let me just change breakfast. I'm just going to eat a can of beans for breakfast. And then you get for sure your protein, your fiber, and you'll be good. Yes, we need to hear this over and over. Mindset is everything. It's so true. And just understand, because it's so confusing. We live in this world where there's so many conflicting pieces of information. Just to understand, it comes back to the basics. It's so simple. But we just have to do the simple things, right? The small and simple things. Awesome. Any other questions? Please join before the end of the year. Oh, how soon are we contacted for a one-on-one consultation? Did you sign up for a one-on-one with me? Or is this for the welcome call? Give me more information on that. Because the welcome call. Okay. Oh yeah. Included in this, we have a lot of people that join that technology is not their strong point. So we do have an option when you join that you can get a welcome call. And that is just because I was like, this is everything you have access to. And then you're going to open it up. And you're like, I'm so confused. So you have a 15-minute call with one of my team members, and they will walk you through. So you just sign up. So just sign up for a time. You'll get the link in the email as soon as you join, and you'll sign up for, you just signed up. Woo, woo, woo. So you'll sign up for the time with one of my team members, and they'll walk you through. Not everyone has to do it. If you're like, oh, I get this. They just walk you through. This is what you have access to. This is what you should focus on. This is what's going on. This is how you join the live calls. I also have a recorded welcome call that you can watch where I walk through everything. So if you don't want to actually join a live call with someone, you can do that and just watch the recorded version. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. So good to see you. Bye. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you joined, Robin. Sorry if I miss the kids. Do I work at the HSA program? I don't have that capacity. Like I don't right now. Officially, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I think I'd have to fill out some forms. I know some people are able. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if I have to be qualified for that. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. Great question. Any other questions? Perfect. And you guys got all the links. I'm just going to put it in one more time. PlantWhys.com/40 so that you have it. Here it is. PlantWhys.com/40. If you just want to learn more information, join before the end of the year. Let's get I always suggest you are ready by New Year's Day. Let's join on New Year's Eve, before New Year's Eve, and then you're ready to go. And so that New Year's Day, you can just start prepping. You can start watching everything so that you can join our live call on Monday. What is the next time we meet? So when you sign up, we meet next Monday. Next Monday is our first live call, and you will go in fact, let me share this part of the kind of a welcome call. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go to our community. So this is what you'll do. So www.plantwhys.com, go to login. You're going to log in once you go. So at any point, guys, if you're like, I don't remember my password, it's totally fine. Just say forget password. After you join, it will say put a password in. Sometimes if you log off too quick, you might have missed that, and just say forgot password and you'll be able to, it will send you a password. And so you can log in. So here's the thing. I'm just going to show you all behind the scenes. So here's the first 40-day jumpstart. So I would say start watching. You don't have access to everything right away. It kind of unlocks each week. So watch all the videos that you have access to, which is a welcome call and walking you through the PlantWhys plate and all those details. Then you also have the cooking videos, and here's the community support group, the embodiment, emotional eating reset, the strength, and the Pilates and teaching. And here's all the recordings. So the recordings to our live meetings are going to be right there. Okay. Recordings to our live meetings. So let's go to the community, because this is important to understand. Again, there's an app that you can use this, watch all this on your phone a lot easier. So you just open up the app. It's the Kajabi app. And as soon as you join, you get an email that explains how to download the app. And then there's a Kajabi community app, which helps you get to this section in particular. And this is where you would join the live calls. So when we have, so again, if you join right now, our first live call, and all of the calls with me are on Mondays, and I switch off Monday during the day to Monday evening, because I have some people work and I have some people, I just want to be able to help if depending on what time works best for everyone. And so it's taking a second to load, because that's how it works when I do Zoom. But right over here is where you would join the live calls. So it will say live and you'll join right here. Our meetups, I can't scroll because it's loading. There we go. Challenges, right? Our meetup. So challenges is where we have the challenges for joining the Jumpstart live. Like you'll see all those there. And the meetups, as you can see, we have tomorrow is a call. I'm not sure who's leading that call. It's either Ashley or Faith or Carla. They're leading just the progress and support call. Then we have our December book club. That's also tomorrow at 8 p.m. So we would call it 2 tomorrow or call 8 p.m. We have a live Pilates class that you can join with me this Saturday. That's more of the intermediate level. So if you've already gotten through your first 30-day series, you can join that. And then here's our group coaching call that is going to be Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then just so you can see, here's all the calls for the month. So this is like where the calendar is, which is great. You can add it to your calendar. You see we have our weekly Jumpstart calls, the weekly Pilates calls, and then the life coaching, the weekly accountability calls, and the book clubs for the next couple months. So you can actually get the book. We're reading Proteinaholic this month, Soundtracks next in January, which is so good. How Not to Die, because he's changed How Not to Die. He's updated it. So we're going to read that together. March, it looks like we're reading Good Morning, I Love You. And then April, Hunger Habit. So it's so fun, guys. It's such a great community to have all of that. Let me just see what questions you guys asked. Thank you. Oh, such a good book. Yep. I'm going to watch again Wednesday. Company is coming. Yeah, totally fine, guys. Right now, I'm just answering questions. No big deal. And so then so here's the feed, right? And this is where you join the live call. So when you join, you'll get an email sent to you that you can just click and join on that email, which makes it really easy. Or you could log into the community and join this way too. Does that answer any questions with what now you've seen behind the scenes of what you get when you sign up? Yeah. So when should you expect to get the invite after signing up? I would just go right now, just log in right now to plantwhys.com/login and you'll see everything there. Yeah. The invite. So right after this call, I'm going to send out the weekly membership. So just look for that weekly membership email that's coming, which also has all the information too. Is prep week stocking pantry? Yes. Prep week is, I'm going next week. And yes, you're going to go make sure that you kind of have your plan. You can even start experimenting. I tell people to start eating the PlantWhys plate, but don't worry about number of protein. Don't worry about calories. Don't worry about anything. Just make sure you have all 4 components on your plate. That's what I tell you to focus on next week. So it's not too overwhelming or stressful. And I would say even start that on January 1st. Just start eating the PlantWhys plate. And then on Monday, we go through, okay, if you have diabetes, how does that change? If you're super tall, how does that change? If you're really focusing on strength training, how does that change? So we go through all the exceptions to the average person, because I just told you guys right now, the average person is 20 grams of protein, right? Per time you sit down, but not everyone's average. So we go through and I have you calculate, and we do that on Monday. Does meal plan give a shopping list? Yes, it does. Is there a handout for all guest pantry lists? The pantry. Oh, so you probably missed it at the beginning, but I will give it to you. So yes, here's the pantry guide. Here it is. Yes, for those who came on time, but also for those who are sticking to the very end, here's the pantry guide. There you go. Awesome. Anything else, guys? I'm impressed that half of you have stayed until the very end. We actually reached capacity. This is why I'm doing 2 live calls, because we went over capacity on this call today. We had over 100 people. My Zoom limit's at 100. So I'm sure there were a lot of people trying to join that didn't. So if that was you, we're teaching this again on Wednesday. So I hope to see you there. I'm not sending out the recording for this one, but possibly for Wednesday, we'll see. But I would love for you guys to join before the new year so you can just start going. Just start going. We're going to work together live starting on Monday. So you want to make sure you join before then for sure. All right, guys, I will see you inside. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you so much. What is the coupon code for the retreat? So glad you asked. Early Bird 26. Early Bird 26. In fact, before we go, for those who are here, if you are interested in coming to the retreat, this actually is just for members, but because you're here. So plantwhys.com/wellness. I think it's retreat. I just did retreat. Okay. Let me get the link for the retreat. And then Early Bird 26 gives you 20% off. So the retreat, for those asking, is happening in May, and it's going to be here at the lake house that I'm at right now. And everyone flies into DC, and then I have a 12-passenger van, and some people just, if they live close, you can actually just come early to the lake house. It's open from 4 o'clock on. Otherwise at 7 p.m. that first Tuesday night, we all drive down, and then here's the retreat. And then we all eat plant-based meals together. There's a nature walk that we kind of go on. There's a lot of presentations like this, but live. So you can just ask real-time questions like, well, what about this? What about this? And share your recipes. Like the retreat is so fun. It is literally the highlight of everything. So that's the link to the retreat. If you guys are interested, if you're you really love in-person gatherings, you do not have to be part of the membership to come to the retreat. You can just come, but I highly suggest you are part of the membership so you know what's going on. So definitely check that out too. Early Bird 26 will give you 20% off by December 31st. After that, it goes down to 15% off. So if you want to come, buy your room now. And I surprisingly, half of the bunk bed rooms are gone. We already have another room booked because I've only really let most of just the membership know about it. So cool. All right. Thanks for sticking around to find out. It is a women's only. So sorry it is a women's only retreat. That is the only side effect. We just decided that just makes everything easier. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me on your holiday. And maybe I'll see you. If you want to learn again, you can come back again on Wednesday. But this has been super helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. And I would love to support you inside the membership to be able to help you with that accountability. It's one thing to know it. It's another thing to have that community aspect. So thank you guys. See ya. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Eat Meat Sparingly, a Word of Wisdom podcast. I'm your host, Ali Essig. And if you need more help and support with transitioning to eating more plants so you can lose weight and improve your gut health and just reduce your risk of chronic disease, then make sure to check out my PlantWhys membership. That's PlantWhys, because I like to teach the why behind eating more plants. But if all you need is just a couple more delicious recipes that feed your family and everyone loves, and not to mention super simple and easy, then make sure to check out my YouTube channel, which is also PlantWhys, PlantWhys. Hope to see you there.